evening, and welcome back to the Pumpkin Patch and Pumpktoberfest, where we're trying all the pumpkin beers for pumpkin beer drinking season, which goes until Thanksgiving as far as I'm concerned. And what costume did Nella wear? Is that a bedsheet?
I'm a Roman. Yes, it is a bedsheet. I kind of had to take it from Kyle's bed, but don't tell him. I'll put it back before he comes home, I promise.
A Roman.
Yes.
I know that Halloween is past now, but...
No, actually,
if you
think about what the Romans did to society in their time, their anti-Semitic, things, and how they subjugated a lot of people, like the Etruscans, and, on the whole, as cool as Roman society might be, it's actually kind of horrifying. Conquerors are horrifying.
You know what is scarier?
And then there's Caligula.
You know what is scarier than Romans that you could do with a bedsheet? A ghost.
But it's purple. As if I were a senator thing.
Kyle has purple bedsheets?
I know, right? Look, there's I think it was actually something white that was washed with something purple because there's these weird stains all over it. But it's fine, it's cool. No, it's look, I'm hang on, just I'll quote some Shakespeare. I come not to praise Caesar, but to bury him.
I will bury Caesar.
Hang on, don't we usually get interrupted at this point as somebody bum rushes our show and then joins us?
Where's our special guest?
I know, I'm pretty sure we usually have a special...
Maybe they're just running late?
Well, joke's on them. We're gonna start drinking without them.
Okay. First 3 beers I can grab. Winter Pumpkin, Pumpktoberfest, which is adorable, and Lakefront Brewery Pumpkin Lager. And if we drink fast, we'll drink them all before they get here.
Let's do this. Just like the Romans would.
Pumpkin Patch Show.
Cisco Brewers Pumpktoberfest. Ale brewed with pumpkin and spices, and has a cute little Pumpktoberfest on it.
Oh, it is so cute.
This is from Nantucket. And this says, on Nantucket, a pumple named Drumpkin brewed up some great ale with his pumpkins. One and all came to savor the delicious flavor, then wobbled around like bumpkins. Is this a limerick? At Cisco, they thought, this is delish. Let's make some more because we wish to please all the tourists and locals and purists with the best ale we can accomplish. Okay, it started out strong, but...
I'm gonna say that's definitely not a limerick, but... what I do know about this particular brewery is that it's actually a triple threat. The company that makes this started on Nantucket as a winery, moved on to becoming a brewery, and then became a distillery. Definitely conquered the Nantucket market like a true Roman. I'll make it work.
Will you?
Yes, I will. There once was a beer from Nantucket.
I thought, don't all limericks start with Nantucket?
The best ones do. Hang on, now challenge accepted. All right, there once was a beer from Nantucket.
Someone carried it around in a bucket?
Yes.
It was full of pumpkins. There once was a beer from Nantucket. Someone carried it around in a bucket. It was full of pumpkins and drank up by bumpkins.
Now what rhymes with...
Take it away, Nella.
Wait, Nantucket, bucket, who'da thunk it?
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Anyway.
This is very clear color.
Ooh.
I can see right through it.
I love the smell off of it.
But it's orangey. It's not light. That's a spicy smell. It's got kind of a beery smell, but definite spice on top of it.
Yeah, and definitely a squash going on as well. It has a very malty taste. It's definitely got a beer flavor. That's the base of it. But I'm finding a very subtle but really enjoyable pumpkin squash flavor, way more so than any spice.
I do taste the spice though. It's there. It's got the pumpkin. It's got the spices. Not much of either. Mm-hmm. It's a gentle beer, but it's not something I'm going to mistake for not a pumpkin spice beer. Mm-hmm. It's a lot beerier than some of the ones we've had, and for that, it doesn't really rank that high on my scale. But I actually like it as a beer.
No, it's really delightful. And
we aren't really comparing all the pumpkin beers. We're just trying to find ones we like. So yeah. For something that's not quite the same as the rest.
It's got a really pleasant taste to it, but it's most definitely a beer. It has a beer flavor more so than a pumpkin flavor, but the pumpkin flavor that in it is very pleasant, very light, and it makes it quite a delightful drink.
And it's 6% alcohol, so it's not like it's weak or anything, but it's gentle, so that works.
This is really, this is like something I would want to drink on a nice, crisp, but still warm autumn day out on a boat, like with a couple of friends and like maybe some like
On a warm autumn day on a boat.
yeah. It would, and like, but it's like still like there's a cool
Nella
breeze.
poured beer down her throat. It was full of pumpkins. Drank up by
You keep trying to make pumpkins work, and it's not working.
Hey, if this beer can
How
do
about
it,
of pumpkins it was filled?
is this rhymed pumpkins
it-
with bumpkins and delish with accomplish?
And
I mean,
down her spine sent a thrill.
it's not that great.
Well, you know what? You're really asking me to do this on the spot, and I'm really bad at rhyming things,
I thought you
okay?
were supposed to be the Roman poet.
Well, Latin rhymes a lot more, and also rhyming schemes are only in English, alright? Come on.
Everything in Latin ends with us.
As a Roman poet, I have no concept of rhyming a poem. I'm more focused on the beats and meters of the poem itself.
That will give you some beats.
Besides, Romans aren't very good poets. Everyone knows the Greeks are the poets.
What were Romans good at besides drinking?
Conquering. Like this beer.
Pumpkin patch show.
Lakefront Brewery Pumpkin Lager. It's a lager. This is our first non-ale. As we've said before, pretty much all pumpkin beers are ales, as you have seen. But we finally have a lager. And the difference between ales and lager is in the fermenting, right?
Yes, it has everything to do with how they're made. They use two different types of yeast. The ales use a yeast that brew at a warmer temperature. Lagers, however, have a yeast that ferment in cooler temperatures. It's actually a style of beer that was brought to America in around the 1830s to 1840s by German immigrants who used the lagering for their own beers. Before then, Americans were drinking ales.
So our first lager, it's brewed with real pumpkin and spices, and it's
Yeah.
from Milwaukee. And it says, brewed in Milwaukee for people who like beer. And lagers I'm more familiar with are like Pilsner styles.
Yeah, how it's described is that lagers, because of their cooler fermentation, tend to have a crisper flavor
Like
that
a lighter
that
texture.
it really sort of gives you the hops and a real sense of what you're putting into the beer, or at least that's how it's been described to me. The real difference you'll find between the two, but it tends to be a much cleaner mouthfeel, much cleaner taste. So the funny thing about what I was reading up about this was that this is actually. So America has a very old tradition of pumpkin beers, which I'm actually going to get into in a later video. Pumpkin beers in general went out of style in the 17th, 18th century in America. And this is one of the first ones, in fact, the second one in the country to make a comeback. And is actually based on a recipe that was found in Thomas Jefferson's papers and things. So we're drinking something styled on a beer that Thomas Jefferson drank, which is pretty cool.
It's historical.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with your historical costume.
It has to do with history, and Thomas Jefferson loved the Romans. Shut your face.
Probably one of the lightest beers that we've had, not counting the ciders,
Yeah. But it's got a really
which is something
interesting
unexpected.
flavor coming off of it. It smells like pumpkins and pie crust.
It almost smells cidery to me. Yeah,
anyway.
I can smell the cinnamon and cloves.
Yeah. It has a very strong but very crisp smell. So maybe that's the lager coming through. Anyway, shall we? That is so different from what we've had so far.
It's got a drier flavor.
Yeah.
Like, you know how they use dry to describe wines?
And yet that pumpkin and that spice is there.
This has more pumpkin spice to it than a lot of the ales we've tried.
Yeah.
A lot of the ales we were like, what? This is pumpkin spice? This one definitely is. And I don't know if this is true, but I sort of guessed that ales carried pumpkin spice flavor better, and that's why most of them were ales, but this is carrying it very well.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by once you swallow, the sensation of the spice and the pumpkin just lingers so well.
It's not hoppy tasting, it's not bitter, it's not beery, and I thought it was going to be beery.
And yet it's, I mean...
Guess I'm a little prejudiced against lagers.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm used to things that sort of feel a little... urine-like. I mean, sorry, lagers. I mean, There's plenty of lagers I like, not all lagers, but on the whole, it's not a style I'm really keen on. But this is really quite delightful. I'm a little curious, and I wish they had explained it more, and maybe I'll send the brewery an ask about this, though. Because it's a lager in the lager style, but it's based on a recipe by Thomas Jefferson, he wouldn't have been making lagers.
Maybe just the pumpkin spice medley is based on this?
Possibly, just the recipe itself, but then they use their lagering yeast and that tradition instead. Very interesting.
Yeah, but I like this. This is up there. Good job, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Finally something not local for us.
On a scale of pie to squash,
This is pie words.
yeah, I would give this a 3.
I give it a 4 towards pie. Yeah. It's not fruity at all. There's not a lot of over squash here. This is nice and balanced.
Yeah.
It's got all those spices that I
I
like.
really want this for Thanksgiving dinner.
So you shall have it.
I really want a 6-pack and like a turkey and some cranberries and just go, ah, yeah. Totally not Roman at all.
Where's the roast suckling pig?
But turkey. Come on, you know Romans would totally be eating turkeys if they knew about turkeys.
Or would they be eating eagles?
Both. They're Romans, they'll eat anything. Trust me.
Pumpkin Patch Show.
Utah Brewing Company Pumpkin Harvest Pumpkin Ale. Ale brewed with pumpkin and spices. And it is from Salt Lake City, Utah. Surprise!
I'm gonna level with everyone. When I saw it was from Utah, my first reaction was, you're allowed to make beer there?
Not just Utah, Salt Lake City.
I know, that's it, Salt Lake City.
You know,
Like,
there's no ABV on the bottle, so...
Maybe it doesn't actually have alcohol in it. Or maybe they're not allowed to actually say how much alcohol is in anything.
Well, their motto is Earth, Wind, and Beer, so I know
Seriously,
it's got
Utah,
something.
if you want to come at me and tell me what's what in a calm and gentle manner and educate me about your wonderful state, please do so. I need a lot to learn.
But it does have 3% organic ingredients.
Ooh.
And the ingredients are as follows. Water, barley malt, hops, yeast, organic pumpkin, organic spices. I was about to say, I bet the organic ingredient is water.
There's also a tab on the side that says Earth, Wind, and Beer, which that would be awesome if this was like Avatar World and it was like Earth,
I'm a beer
Fire,
bender!
Wind, Beer bending. Ah, I would so be a beer bender. It would be the greatest thing ever.
It's like, you're full of beer, I'm gonna bend you now.
No, blood bending, only beer bending. Although I always made the joke with that what needed to happen in the Avatar world was tea bending, because man, could I be a tea bender. Anyway,
I've gone on tea benders.
I've gone on tea benders. Wake up like, oh, what happened? You drank 3 pots of jasmine, that's what happened. Do you ever drink so much tea that it was like you felt it coming out of your pores?
Yes, I've gotten very tea drunk before.
Oh man, that's a hell of a way to spend an afternoon. Like, it's like seriously, beer's got nothing on tea bending.
Hey, we're on the 3rd beer already.
Huh.
And we haven't been weirdly interrupted by a mysterious stranger or a random friend or,
I know.
you know, a former child actor or, you know, someone from Chicago or anything.
Do you think someone just didn't get the memo? Huh. Huh, whatever. We have beer.
Another lightish one. It's more similar to the first one, but still, we had 3 light beers today.
Yeah.
It's a nice orangey color. It's kind of got like a cakey smell.
Yeah, I'm getting a very, honestly, it kind of smells a little like the Blue Point Toasted Lager to me. Like, it has a very toasted beer smell, but I'm not smelling pumpkin or spice, really.
Yeah, and no spices. Well, it's got a toasty flavor.
Yeah. I got nothing.
It tastes like a toasted lager. I know it's an ale, but it tastes like a toasted lager to me.
It tastes like Blue Point Toasted Lager, which I love, don't get me wrong.
It's got organic pumpkin and organic spices, but that's only 3% of the ingredients, so maybe they're just so small.
I mean, it has a very pleasant taste. There's a very fruity, soapy in a pleasant way sort of sensation on the tongue.
It's kind of boring. I mean, we've tried so many really interesting beers that this one's just kind of...
It's quite drinkable, but it's quite dull, and it's quite not pumpkin.
And now that I'm an official pumpkin beer snob, I wouldn't buy this one again.
No.
Sorry, Utah.
Yeah. You tried.
So of the three, I gotta say I like the lager the best.
The
Who would
lager
have
is
guessed?
really fantastic. And I would love to find out if they chose the lager style because they felt it would be best for the flavors, or if that's just how they brew things. I am really intrigued by it.
Has everyone else been doing it all wrong all along?
I know. Could we have been lagering this whole time? I don't know. But yeah, I would definitely drink the lager again. Way to go, Milwaukee. Well done. Since like 87, I believe. They've been doing this nonsense. Good job. So yeah. And I feel pretty good about putting the lager on our shelf of conquerors, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just right over there. You can't see it.
Well,
It's pretty impressive though.
well, I think we came, we saw, we drank some beers. Till next time.
No, not till next time. You don't get to come back. You don't dress right.
No,
You know, we didn't even have a special guest tonight. I'm doing this show alone from now on.
No, you're not. I'd like to see you stop me. You can't stop a Roman. I will come in and I will drink your beer and I will make you take up my togas.
Okay. I don't care if you wear the same exact thing next time, as long as you put the sheet over your head, cut out some eye holes, and be a ghost.
I can't cut out eye holes. It's not my sheet.
Fine, just wear something else that's at least a little scary or like gothy. You know, I mean I don't dress scary, but I dress gothy.
Okay.
Something a little
how
dark.
about something?
Something from Days of Yore.
I could do Days of Yore, and how about something with a dark twist to it?
I love a dark twist.
Okay.
Dark twists are great.
All right, then I promise the next one is gonna fit right in.
Why don't I believe you?
I have no idea. You should always trust Rome.
Pumpkins, 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 pumpkins.
Once Nella promised to wear a costume. Go on.
Costume's a terrible thing to try to rhyme. You set me up. There once was a lady named Nella who decided one day to, I don't know, fuck it.
Dressed like an old Roman fella.
There we go.
Like a tomb that you're in tomb.
Yeah. Costume.
Loom, womb, David Hume.
Yeah, see, Mara's got it.
I'm not good at this rhyming shit.